I feel like he needs to get it off his chest, and who better than someone that
Hey, you're
understands and
not on
has wise
comms.
words.
Okay.
And I am getting off comms, but yes,
All right, so
go
let's
ahead,
uh
Ziggy.
let's start from the top. I'm sorry, Rose. You're here as a emotional support.
Yes, and he asked me to be in the room.
He asked you to be here.
Yeah.
We're meeting today with Ziggy to have a conversation. This is Ziggy's session. You're just here for support. All right, cool.
Yes.
And but real quick before I just start talking to Ziggy exclusively, how has this affected you so far, Rose?
I mean, he's my family. You know what I mean? So I got to make sure he's good at the end of the day. I always take care of my family no matter who it is. He's
Yep.
my family just as much as, my nephew,
Yeah.
Marlon. I always want to
Yes.
make sure everyone's good. Mentally is the biggest thing I want to make sure everyone's good at, and emotional.
Absolutely. And what have you observed that has been concerning to you?
He's drinking profusely a lot, getting pulled over, stumbling out of clubs. He went to the strip club and drank, and I don't know, the guards in the front security was talking a little reckless
They
about the
told me
whole
to
thing.
go for it. They told me to drive.
Yeah,
What?
well, after
Yeah.
that, yeah, they started talking a little reckless toward our family. Well, not
Mm,
like not just him. I mean, it's like an image, you know what I mean?
yeah.
So they're taking what he's doing and they're trying to ruin our image from it. So,
Oh, so this is
mhm,
carrying a little bit of weight now, Ziggy. Before it was
mhm.
just kind of you. Uh, Ziggy, does anybody else know what the root cause of this, the original root cause of this was?
No,
And
only Rose. Only Rose.
that's where this is gonna start. Go ahead and tell Dr. Sammy I'll stop
Let's
talking.
let's okay. Well, let's review that and recap that to make sure that we have that kind of square in our sights as we talk. What was the original thing that kind of happened to you that made you decide? Well, what's the thing that kind of pushed you over edge, Ziggy? Do you remember it?
Um.
A few
Yeah.
sessions ago, when you were kind of making the transition out of blue.
That was when it was with Emily.
Yeah.
It's not about her.
Well, brother, with all due respect,
This is a new one.
that's where it started, for
Yeah.
sure. And you've been on a tear since then.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you think there's something else that's going on now. You tell me now what it is you think that it is stemming from. I'd love to hear it.
So, and this also started when I was in blue as well too, Sammy.
Okay.
So, just before I was making the transitioning out of blue,
Mm-hmm.
um, this was I think a day or two. I would say a day or two after Piper, Emma, Scythe, and James left
Mm-hmm.
blue. Um, Hugh ended up coming into the shop with Ali, Nicole, and Savannah.
Okay.
And me and Savannah were talking.
You're okay.
Um, you know, we were talking very nicely, something that someone would recommend to talk to as like a friend or something like that.
Yeah.
Um, After that, her,
407 en
coming to
route
the
back to
shop every
hospital, one
day, us
officer
having a
down.
conversation every day, we kind of, I would say, hit it off.
Okay.
Um, we both kind of had feelings for each other. Um, and then, but she was in a relationship with someone, and so what it was is, I was still in blue, so, and there's a rule that there's a law that we have to obey by as
Mm-hmm.
members, and I couldn't do nothing with her at the time because of that rule,
Right.
because I
It's
was
in a
with a different
different
family.
color, different family. Yep. Got it. I can
And
understand the
so
conflict of interest. Can you?
that's
Okay.
why I couldn't do nothing.
Sure.
I would just talk to her and that's it.
Uh huh.
Um, and then once I'd made the transition out of blue, um, I was kind of no flag, and I was talking with Blaze, and then I talked with Teddy, and then I came into the family, and what had happened is that um I just got played. I just got played to the point where I literally had my emotions played with the entire time.
Who
And
played with you? Who played with your emotions specifically?
Savannah,
Savannah. Okay.
I really did not expect it. I didn't see it coming from the personality that I was reading.
Okay.
Um
Is it
and
is it
I
all?
just
Is it also safe to assume that you possibly you were in a tender spot, you were missing the companionship of Emma, and you may have fallen
Emily, not
into
Emma.
Emily, sorry, that you'd kind of maybe fallen into a space where you felt like you might need companionship, and she was there at the right time.
No, I would say because me and Emily never really got to date.
I know, but you were
Um,
definitely upset about
I
her
was
decision
interested in
to take
her.
some time on to herself, and
Yeah, and I thought to myself,
you were hurt by it. It's okay to say you were.
spacing is good.
It's okay to say that you were hurt
Um,
by it, though.
I definitely was hurt by it.
Yeah, it's okay to
Um,
say that. You know
but
that?
the fact that this kind of hurt me a lot more because I'm the type of person I'll give you my all. I'll
Yeah,
give you the clothes off my back. I'd give two fucks.
yeah.
I
You
would
ever
give you my own spleen if I could do it myself.
you ever had surgery?
No.
You ever had
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Yes,
like
I did. Yes, I did.
stitches?
Yeah, I did.
Okay,
I had a knee reconstruction surgery.
okay. So when you
Um,
had your knee reconstruction surgery, and it's a couple days, week after surgery, you had stitches, right?
412 on duty and
mhm.
on comms. Yay,
And if
Arkansas!
you were to bend the knee really quickly, what would happen to the stitches?
They'd rip
Because because of what?
the pressure.
And because there's still a significant injury and you're healing.
Mhm.
And still swollen, still tender, nerves are still regrowing. Your body kind of puts a lot of fluid in that space, so it kind of gets thick and fat, and then when you go to bend it, before it's ready, it would pop, right? It would reopen that wound, right?
Mhm.
That's because when you're hurt, you need some time to heal. She
So
needed it, but I think you did too, Ziggy.
my thing is now like I come from a family where you never want to show a weakness
Okay,
because the moment
understood.
that you show a weakness, it gives the opponent an opportunity to exploit that weakness and to defend you or to defeat you. I try not to show my weaknesses because I don't want people to um defeat me. So that's why I've been used to just holding stuff down, and then now I've turned it into the drinking thing.
Yeah,
Um but it's just the fact that I kind of didn't expect it to happen like this
sure.
because of the fact that she told me to my face that if she knew that I was coming into the family, she would have stayed single.
Uh, because some people are pretty adamant about not shitting where they eat, right?
Yeah.
Because that
And
matters. Because sometimes you build a relationship in the construct of it's going to be at a safe distance. When I'm doing family stuff, I'll be doing family stuff. But now you've got someone that's on top of you the entire time, and I can see how that could be a deal breaker. It's upsetting, but you can understand that, right?
but the fact that she turns around and tells me that she wants to be friends before she dates anyone else because she's been into what she calls two shitty relationships, and then within 2 days her and another man are calling each other babe, baby,
Hmm.
hon. Like,
You know,
their main thing is babe
you know what I want
all
you to,
over.
I understand. But I know what I want you to do just at this particular moment is realize that you're the one sitting here on that couch, not her, right now. So we can only control what we can control. We can only deal with what's going on inside of us. I don't really have an opinion on her dating somebody else at this particular time because she's not on my couch. But I have something that just came up for me to tell you. Do you mind if I ask Rose something candidly?
Yeah, what's up?
Ziggy, do you mind if I include her in this particular portion?
Go ahead.
Okay. So, Rose, would you say that people thought you were a strong person in the city?
Yeah, very intimidating.
Yeah, exactly. How often have you and I sat down for sessions?
Quite often.
Quite
Quite often.
Do you think that the sessions that we've had have at least added to the your mental strength?
Yeah, like my brother that he, may or may not have had a therapy session. Actually, the relationship got better. There's less fighting, less arguing. We're finding a compromise.
Okay.
Mentally got better.
Has anybody ever implied that therapy or working on yourself made you weak?
No.
And if they did, what would you do to them? Okay.
I
You don't exactly have to fill in that part of the.
my other guess would be, probably tell them to try it out themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And they should come to a session and kind of just say whatever's been on their mind and bothering them.
Thank you.
Mental health is very, very important to me. And I will drop any type of conflict that I would have with the person if they openly express that there is something wrong with them mentally, and I would want to make sure they get the help that they need.
Yeah. So Ziggy, the reason why I wanted to just invite her into that part of the conversation is because I want to reassure you that in this family, and she's part of your family currently, and in this season, this stage that you're in, I want to encourage you to begin to kind of forget about what people say is weak and weakness, because I think you're in a different stage of life and maturity that makes you interested in self-help, and to dig there. I don't want you to be so worried about the opinions of others anymore, Ziggy. And it seems like every time we were having a conversation, it's someone else's actions or opinions that are affecting you, that you are essentially responding to. First time you were drinking, it was the decision that Emily was making to
411 plus 1 and
separate the family, but then also be single for a while. And currently, it seems like maybe this other person that has made a decision to maybe date somebody else is causing you to kind of react negatively. But what I don't want to see is I don't want you to be just kind of at the whim of other people, to dictate what your feelings are, to dictate how you live your life or how healthy you treat yourself. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
I want you to know that you're valuable enough, that you're respected enough, and not just that, but the principle of therapy and getting better is even accepted in your family. And I know for a fact that people are scared of Rose. You know what I'm saying? Like I've heard her name in the streets. People don't people don't mess with Rose, and she's on my couch once a week, and she's working on herself, and she's getting stronger, and she's taking care of herself. And even though other people might have opinions of it, they might say that she's weak for sitting on the couch, but then be in the same breath be terrified to piss her off. Like, it's people's opinion of us is none of my fucking business. You know what I'm saying?
See, me and Rose click because when I first met Rose, she knew me as the one who would test them buttons and get real close to it and still stand my ground. Am I right, Rose?
No, he definitely does. He definitely does. Not with me, but I've seen it with everyone else.
But what do you think has changed, though, Ziggy?
Ooh.
411 plus 1 on scene.
I just think that
10-4.
Um, like I said to Penelope, I truly think it's the um how should I put it? Uh um the perspective of my well-being, but also to keep my mentality at a low enough to where I can withstand it at any time and be able to keep control of my mentality and my actions at all times.
Okay, I believe that's what you want.
411
But do
plus
you
1 en
but do
route
you
back to the
think that
hospital with 1 down.
drinking out of control is what you
10-4.
get out of that action? Do you think that you get more control out of drinking? Or because if what you want is more control of your emotions, drinking is like adding gasoline to a fire. It's not going to achieve that. It's going to cause those emotions to spiral out of control. It's going to cause sadness to reign supreme, because ultimately even if you enjoy those moments of being intoxicated, or enjoy those moments of freedom, I don't have to think about it, then you end up doing something that's stupid, like driving 100 miles an hour with barely not even hitting the brakes as you crash into a wall, and you feel ashamed of those actions, and now you've got a whole other problem to deal with. It never fills that gap. Do you care, or am I able? Do I have your permission to make an observation? It's going to be a tough observation, but do I have permission to make an observation about something that I can hear you saying, even though you're not saying the words? I think you're sad, bro. I think you're sad. I think you're upset. I think that you're looking for a person to connect with, and it's not worked out a couple times, and that's making you sad. And I think it's okay to be sad, though. It's not an anomaly. It's something that's uncomfortable, but it's okay to be sad about that. You've invested in 2 different relationships, 2 different people, and it hasn't gone the way that you thought it was going to go.
Right.
But you need to begin to plan and work on something that feels. I'm here. So if you pass out, I got you.
I was gonna say, Dr. Sammy might need to come to the rescue.
I got you.
Diabetes almost took the wheel. Diabetes really almost took the wheel.
Oh my gosh.
But bro, I was like, I'm hungry.
Oh damn! I kind of wish you passed out. You might have made it.
Well, thank goodness we're in the hospital.
I wish at the end of that you passed out, so you could have made it on the TikTok.
Oh, latex gloves.
Anyways, what happened? What? The TV?
Oh shit.
Oh, okay. Latex gloves. Got it. But Ziggy, I don't
I'm
think
allergic to latex though.
you are. Well, don't use them on him.
I'll try not to.
But yeah, Ziggy, I think that I think it's okay to be sad, bro, and I think it's okay to kind of look that in the face and be like, hey, look, I'm at the point where I kind of want to run around with somebody, and if it hasn't worked out a couple times, what I would say is maybe just take a step back and actually get to know some people, get to know people before you even consider that, right? Make sure you guys are kind of on the same page with what you want out of your experience and interaction here in the city, and then maybe move in one of those directions. But take your time, bro.
This was the thing. I took my time with her. Me and her been talking for at least 3.5 weeks.
So I hear what you're saying, but a week and a half ago we were talking about how upset you were over Emily.
And then she turns around and she talks to this dude for 2 days, and they're already calling each other babe. Like, what happened to the 3.5 weeks that I spent talking to you? I spent opening up to you, putting my guard down so that I can let you in to know me more. And then you turn around and you throw this in my face.
Okay,
like,
so where are we? Where are we? Just so I'm with you and I'm helping, staying kind of in the. I'm tracking. Where are we putting the whole conversation we had a week and a half ago about Emily? Where are we putting that? We're acting like that didn't happen, or you were all
no,
upset about her last week.
That happened. That happened. Like,
but then,
really then
which is it? Which was happening 3.5 weeks ago? Because you can't be super invested in one girl and super invested in another girl at the same exact time.
I was invested. I was so
10-4.
when me and Emily started talking was when Trey really didn't come out of his house for 4 days straight, stayed home, and basically it was just down to me and Emily running the streets for the gang because of the fact that we didn't have the numbers to do shit. And when Green wanted to pick a fight with us when Trey was actually in, it was only me, Emily, and Trey that showed up to the whole fucking the entire fucking Green gang wanting a war with us no matter what. And we turned around. I mean, sure enough, I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't stand down. I don't back down at all. I will stand my ground till the last bullet flies. I don't care. The moment that last bullet flies is the moment that I hit the ground. I'm not gonna hit the ground before I shoot my last bullet. That's not happening.
Yeah.
I refuse.
Hey, the most recent 311 that just came in that was anonymous is in the exact same area as
Rose
the
saw it.
last
Shit, I
311's
was
about.
shooting Trey down, and Trey fucking unloaded 3 clips into me. I unloaded 1 and shot him down, and he was shooting me and hitting me every time. Rose saw it with her eyes.
I want you to focus for the next week, Ziggy, on not being with anybody except Ziggy. You think you can do that?
I can.
And you know, Ziggy, like we've had conversations before, and we've had follow-up conversations. Our follow-up conversation about this is going to be in 7 days, and in 7 days, I want you to know Ziggy more than you know anybody else, or more than any of your attention goes towards anybody else. I don't care if it's in the gang. I don't care if it's a friend. I don't care if it's somebody as damsel in distress. I don't care. New person. I don't care. For the next 7 days, you're not allowed to date, think about dating anybody. This is Ziggy time, and we're going to claim it for Ziggy. All right? And that's
Maybe
a lot
ease
of
up on the
time.
drinking too.
Listen, Ziggy's got to make that decision on his own, and I'm hoping that he eventually starts to prioritize himself over prioritizing the feelings of other people. We talked about this, Ziggy. You cannot put someone else's mask on for them and expect yourself to stay healthy. You do that, and if that's the reason why they say put your mask on first on the airplane before you secure the mask of anybody else or children around you, because if you pass out, no one can get helped. But if you put your mask on, then you might be able to help someone else. And I have not watched you put on your mask since the very first time we sat down and talked. You're still talking about the mask that someone else has on, the mask that she's putting on some other dude. You need to be putting on your own mask. I know that this hurts. I know that this bothers you. I know that there's it sounds like a complex situation where, you get close to somebody in the middle of kind of talking to somebody else. Man, that seems like a whole lot of shit to keep straight in my head and in my mind and in my emotions. And you just need some time to not do that, bro. You need some time to sit back, relax, focus on you. And I know it's cliche to focus on you, right? Do what you got to do to make you happy, but you got people around you that are interested in helping you do that as well. Not just Rose, myself, Penelope downstairs, the rest of your family. You got people that are interested in you doing what's best for you. You just have to commit to doing it. You got to take better care of yourself, bro. I've been going for a run every time before I come in for my shift. If you want me to, next time I go on a run, I'll give you a call. See if you want to go. Mentally, health. I mean, man, I'm telling you, going on a nice run clears my head. Doing something else, it like allows me to like think. But you got to put things in your way that are going to be helpful to you. Because right now, the only things that are in your way, the only things that are around you, the only things that are coping mechanisms are dangerous to you, dangerous to your health. Drinking yourself into a stupor, it's not gonna last super long, brother.
Yeah. Because I always keep getting brought here.
Well, you know what? You are sitting on my couch under your own free will.
I come here a lot, so you can come with me.
I could say this. I called it for my last trip here with the ambulance.
Okay, that's good.
But I did it anonymously.
It's still I mean, you little shit. We can also argue the fact that it was also really good that he came up to me and let me know and allowed me to take him over here.
100% agree.
So that's why I pushed
back
step.
when he said, I'm keep getting brought here. But no, bro, there's people here that care about you, that will bring you if they intercede, not just for the 10K.
So like,
even though
or
the
50K that Rosie's got going through her damn day.
Look, bro, it's probably one of the smartest things I ever did.
She's gonna do it too. She's gonna feed me alcohol mid-fight. She's gonna turn around. She'll be like, "Hang on a minute, we gotta go to Dr. Sammy."
Me, I would never.
Just like you said, hang on a minute, I gotta go get a payday.
Hey, I'm just a rose in the garden, man. I'm just a rose in the garden.
She's like, you gotta do anything to get paid.
Listen. Well, I'm rooting for you. It's clear that Rose is rooting for you. Seems like the rest of your family's rooting for you. But you got to look out for yourself, brother. You gotta start taking better care of yourself.
You know, you should run like weekly AA meetings. That'd be pretty interesting.
No.
You know, we have Honey is
not
actually,
just for you.
Honey is actually interested in doing that.
I already told Dr. Sammy I'm not interested in that class.
So if I want to go, you're not gonna go with me as a family member and just join me?
I'll sit in the back of the room.
That's fine.
No, you gotta sit next to me. I'm gonna sit in the front.
Sit in the back of the room is fine, bro. Sit wherever you want.
I'll sit in the far back up against the wall. Just lean up against the wall.
That's fine. That's totally fine.
Make sure I keep an eye on the class.
It's probably gonna end up being in this room. Actually, this is gonna be. It's big enough for 5 or 6, 7, 8 people.
All right, I'll be standing over by the door.
Anyways,
easy access to.
Oh, jeez. Well, now
I broke them.
he's good at that shit. All right.
Yeah.
Let's pick up in 7 days. All right. 7 days, Ziggy. Cool. We're gonna talk about this problem again. 7 days. You're gonna give yourself some space to take care of yourself. But then I'll see you next Saturday. All right.
All righty.
All right.
Heck yeah! I have a lot of food, so you're gonna take some of this.